Solving multi-step equations, part 3. In today's lesson, students will learn how to solve multi-step equations by distributing and combining like terms. By doing what? Distributing and combining like terms. So today we're going to put the skills of distribution and combining like terms together to solve a multi-step equation. Let's look at this equation. It says 5x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 2 equals 46. Looks pretty complicated, right? Well, it's going to involve a few steps. Remember the order of operations, PEMDAS, remember that? What comes first in P? It's, what are these? Parentheses. Remember, when there is a coefficient outside of parentheses, that means you have to, what's this? Distribute, multiply. What is that? Let's do it again. It's so much fun. Distribute, multiply. So that's step 1. So when you see a problem like this, step 1 is to distribute which means multiply the coefficient to both, what do we call these? Starts with a T. Terms. Very good. To both terms. So inside the parentheses, we see x plus 2. So I'm going to make that little distribution wave. Distribute 2 times x and then 2 times 2. All right? So let's go ahead and continue. What is 2 times x? Let's put 2 and x together. When they're touching, they're being multiplied. So what is 2 times x? Isn't it 2x? Awesome. And then simply, we have to remember 2 times 2. What's 2 times positive 2? It's 2, right? All right. Now that's a constant, so I'm going to make it red. Awesome. Now what we need to do is bring down this variable term. We have 5x. And we can also bring down the 46. Because the next step is to see, do we have 2 variable terms that we could put together, that we could combine? Let's see, how many x's do we have? We have a 5x and we have a 2x. What can we do with those? We can, well, let's identify them first before we do it. We have a 5x and we have a 2x. Okay, so I want you to underline these. So underline the variable terms. Underline. So that would be step 2. And now that we've underlined them, 5x and 2x, what can we do? We can combine like terms. We can do what? Combine like terms. Okay, great. So we're going to combine 5x and 2x. Again, to combine like terms, that's right, combine like terms. You're going to be either adding or subtracting, okay, because you're working with integers. We have 5 plus 2. You're looking at the coefficients. What's 5 plus 2 or 5x plus 2x? It's 7x. Good. Coefficient is 7. Now we need to, so step 4, bring down, what do we call these terms? The terms without x. Starts with a C, remember? It's constant terms, or the terms without x. And at the end, we're going to solve the equation. We got it? So we're going to bring these down. Plus 2 equals 46. Now this is the equation right here that I am going to solve in the next few examples. So we ended up with 7x plus 2 equals 46. We could solve that 2-step equation, which we'll do in the following examples. Go ahead and get all of that down. So let's take a look at number 1. It says 4x plus 3 times the quantity of x minus 3 equals 47. So, remember order of operations. What do you do first? You do the parentheses. And parentheses tell you to distribute. What does distribute mean? Say, distribute, multiply. We didn't get everyone. Let's do it again. Put your finger in the air. Ready? Distribute, multiply. So the first step is multiplication, distribution. We're going to distribute 3 times x and also 3 times negative 3. So doing this multiplication, what is 3 times x? Remember, when a coefficient and a variable are touching, they're being multiplied. So all you have to do is put them together. What's 3 times x? It's 3x. Exactly. So we have 3x. Now, you want to pay careful attention when you are multiplying a positive times a negative. What is positive 3 times negative 3? Negative what? Negative 9. Awesome. And then bring down the rest of the terms. So we're going to bring down 4x. Remember, this is very important. That's a positive 3x because that's positive times positive. And then it equals 47. Okay, so now do we have some terms that we could combine? What are they? Let's identify them. Let's underline the like terms. What are the terms with x? We have what? We have 4x and 3x. So if we have 2 variable terms that are alike, we can combine like terms. We can do what? Combine like terms. So what is 4x plus 3x? Just add those coefficients. 4 plus 3 is 7x, right? Minus 9 equals 47. Okay. So now what we need to do, is it ready to solve? Are we on the last step? Yes. Let's solve this equation. First, make a t. What is the opposite? Oh, sorry. Circle 7x. What is the opposite of negative 9? It's positive 9. And then let's bring down 7x. A negative 9 and a positive 9 makes 0. And now we're going to add 47 plus 9. So what's 47 plus 9? What is it? 56. Awesome. All right. And the last step is, if 7 is being multiplied by x to give you 56, what's the opposite of multiplication? It's division. Divide both sides by what? 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And x equals 56 divided by 7. What's 56 divided by 7? It's 8. Very good. Okay. So x equals 8. Go ahead and get that down. Now let's write down number 2. It says 7x minus 3 times the quantity of 2x plus 3 equals negative 15. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is distribute, multiply. So now we're distributing a negative, okay? So negative 3 times negative 2x and also negative 3 times a positive 3. So what is negative times positive? What does Bob tell us? Negative times positive is negative, right? So we would get a negative 6, but let's make sure we attach the x because they're all being multiplied together. And what is a negative 3 times a positive 3? Remember from last time? Negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. Awesome. So bring down the rest of your terms. So we have 7x minus 6x minus 9 equals negative 15. Do we have some variable terms? Let's underline them. We have 7x and negative 6x. So now we can combine like terms. We can do what? combine like terms. So we have 7x minus 6x. What's 7 minus 6? It's 1, right? But it's 1x. Then bring down the rest of your constant terms. Negative 9 equals negative 15. Can you solve this equation now? Yes. So let's make a T. Circle 1x. What is the opposite of negative 9? It's positive 9. Both sides. Awesome. A negative 9 and a positive 9 make 0. Bring down 1x. And then 1x is going to equal negative 15 plus 9. Are they the same signs or different signs? Say, different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. All right, so we have 15 minus 9. What's 15 minus 9? It's 6, but it's negative 6. Awesome. Because the bigger number is negative. All right, you can technically leave this as your answer because again, that 1 is invisible, right? X is the same as 1x. However, we can divide both sides by 1. Any number divided by 1 is 1. Any number divided by 1 is just itself. So 1 divided by 1 is 1, right? And negative 6 divided by 1 is what? It's negative 6. Very good. Okay, so go ahead and get that down. Now let's write down number 3. It says negative 3x plus 2 times the quantity of negative 2x plus 3, in parentheses, equals 41. Okay, first thing is distribute, multiply. So we're going to distribute a 2, multiply 2 times negative 2x and 2 times positive 3. All right, so what's 2 times negative 2x? 2 times negative 2. Remember Bob, positive times negative is negative. Okay, so we're going to write negative 4x. Now tell me what's 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is positive 6, right? Okay. Let's bring down the rest of the terms. We have a negative 3x. And then equals what? 41. Do we have some terms that we can combine? Yes, let's underline them. Negative 3x and negative 4x. What are we supposed to do with these? We can combine like terms. We could do what? Combine like terms. So remember here, when you're combining like terms, we ask ourselves, are these the same signs or different signs? Same signs, right? So say, same signs, add and keep stuff. What's negative 3 and negative 4? It's negative 7, right? So negative 7x. And then bring down the rest of your constants. Plus 6 equals 41. Okay, can we solve this equation? Yes. First, make a T. Circle negative 7x. Make sure you circle that negative. What's the opposite of positive 6? It's negative 6. All right. And then a positive 6 and a negative 6 make 0. Bring down negative 7x equals, now we have to do 41 minus 6. What's 41 minus 6? You know how I do this in my head? I say, well, if I take 1 away, right, from 41, it's 40. Take 1 away from 6, that's 5. So what is 40 minus 5? 35. That's how I like to do mental math. So that's 35, friends. Okay, now what do? Divide both sides by what? Careful on this. Divide both sides by what? Yeah, negative 7. Okay, and remember, negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. We have Bob to help us here. We have a positive divided by a negative is negative. So what's the answer? X is what? X is negative 5. Very good. Negative 5. Go ahead and get that down. Now let's read our last example, example 4. Write negative 4x minus 6 times the quantity, in parentheses, negative x plus 3 equals negative 30. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is distribute, multiply. Awesome. Wait a minute. Hold up. You have a negative x. Is there a coefficient in front of x? What is it? It's negative what? 1. That should be our first thing. Whenever you have an x, you can put a 1 in front of it so you know what coefficients you're multiplying. So we're going to do negative 6 times negative 1x and negative 6 times 3. What is, remember, Bob's cousin, guys, what is a negative times a negative? It's positive. So that's going to be the hardest thing here, is multiplying your signs. So negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6x. You got that? Okay. What is negative 6 times positive 3? We're distributing a negative. Let's see. Negative times a positive is negative. So what should this be? It should be negative what? What's 6 times 3? 18. Very good. All right. Let's bring down the rest of our terms. Over here, we have a negative 4x. And remember, this was a positive 6x. So if there's nothing in front of it, you write a positive. It's going to equal negative 30. Okay. Let's underline the like terms. What are the like terms? Negative 4x and positive 6x. Now we can combine like terms. So when we combine like terms, we're not using Bob, we're using the integer song. Same signs or different signs. They're different signs, right? So we say different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So 6 minus 4, easy. It's 2, right? Is it positive 2? Yes. 2x. Let's bring down the constant terms. Negative 18 equals negative 30. Now let's solve this two-step equation. You ready? First make a t, then what is the opposite of negative 18? It's positive 18. All right. Negative 18 and a positive 18 makes 0. Bring down 2x. Okay, we have a negative 30 and a positive 18. Same signs or different signs? Different signs, right? So say different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So let's subtract 30 minus 18. What would you get? 12? Okay, positive or negative? Negative 12, right? Awesome. All right, now we're going to divide both sides by, tell me, 2. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. You're left with x equals. Okay, again, let's go back to Bob. A negative divided by a positive is negative. So what's this answer here? Negative 12 divided by 2. It's negative 6. All right, go ahead and get that down.